E3 has come and gone, and Gamescom is right around the corner with promises of even more game announcements. We don't know if and when we might get official announcements, but we've compiled a list of games rumored to be in development that may shock you. ROCKSTEADY'S new game. Known for making the best Batman game anyone has ever played, ROCKSTEADY made a name for themselves quickly with their Arkham series. After 2015's Arkham Knight released to critical acclaim, ROCKSTEADY fell silent. Sefton Hill, game director and co-founder of ROCKSTEADY, saddened the gaming world when he announced on Twitter that the developer wouldn't be showcasing anything at E3 earlier this year. He did, however, confirm that there is a new project in development, saying, quote, "We'll be watching as fans, but remaining in London, hard at work on our next big project." Eddie Stubbington joined the team in a quality assurance position in May, and a subsequent Twitter announcement of his new position was accompanied by a Justice League GIF. He quickly changed it to a GIF of Jonah Hill excitedly screaming, but the post was up long enough for many to believe ROCKSTEADY could be hard at work on a Justice League title. Could it connect to the Arkham series to create a multiverse? Time will tell. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Guerrilla Games, previously well known for their Killzone series, blew the world away with Horizon Zero Dawn back in early 2017. And with such astronomical levels of success, they were quick to confirm that Zero Dawn was an origin story, and that there was much of this world left to explore. While this doesn't guarantee a sequel, it's very promising to hear and all but confirms that there are more stories coming in the Horizon universe. More recently, voice actor Janina Gavankar, the voice of Tatai in the first game's DLC, told a fan at this year's Star Wars convention, quote, "Wait till you see the sequel." And wait we'll have to do. With the PS5 releasing at the end of 2020, it's unlikely we'll see the game in the PS4 generation, but an early next-gen release is seeming more and more likely. Diablo 4. With BlizzCon rapidly approaching in November, rumors have circulated of the much-anticipated sequel to Diablo 3. Unfortunately, Blizzard is well known for disappointing players who are waiting with bated breath, with last year's presentation only showcasing Diablo Immortal. This mobile spin-off angered more fans than it delighted, leading many to speculate that Blizzard will have to bring the big guns this year, lest they alienate their entire audience. A report earlier this year suggests that some employees at Blizzard Europe were shown a presentation of Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. The same report goes on to indicate that no game in either series will see a release date before 2020, so there's probably still a long time to wait for some devilish fun. God of War 2. Creative director of God of War, Cory Barlog, has gone on record saying that the recent quasi-reboot of God of War would not have DLC because he preferred to just get started on the next game. Since then, he's been somewhat subtly teasing the new entry in Sony's Hallmark franchise. A tweet from April hid the message "Ragnarok is coming," and a PS4 UI theme released in April also featuring the same sentence. Back in June 2019, it was reported that the team was looking for a senior combat designer. Given the game's success and its two fairly big cliffhanger ending scenes, it goes without saying that we may very well see God of War 2 around the same time we get our hands on a PS5. 4A Games' new game. Fans of bleak environments and mature storytelling have probably come across 4A Games' successful post-apocalyptic Metro series. During an earnings report in May of this year, publisher THQ Nordic mentioned that 4A Games was working on an undisclosed AAA project. Given the success of Metro Exodus, their most recent entry in the series, it's very possible this AAA project is a follow-up entry. But after 3 games, it's also possible they're ready to take on something new. As of now, there's no further word on this project, but we're likely to hear more about it within the next year or so. Harry Potter RPG. A Reddit post in 2018 contained footage that seemed to be from a Warner Bros. Developed Harry Potter role-playing game. The footage showed Hogwarts' Great Hall, some spellcasting, and a brief glimpse at a character creation screen. While there's been no confirmation that the game was genuine, it's possibly quite telling that Warner Bros. Quickly pulled the footage from YouTube with claims of copyright issues. It's been almost a year since the footage leaked, and it looked fairly far along, so it's unlikely to be too much longer before we hear about the game, if it actually does exist. Assassin's Creed 2020. Assassin's Creed is synonymous with yearly releases, but Ubisoft has taken an unusual year off after its most recent release of Odyssey. It goes without saying that 2020 will see a new entry in the franchise. However, and if recent reports are to be believed, it may focus on Nordic mythology and Vikings. One thing we know for sure is that the series is still going strong, so we should hear more about this new game in the coming months. Fable 4. The beloved Microsoft-exclusive franchise Fable has been on hiatus for far too long. With the last mainline entry releasing in 2010, fans of the series have been patiently awaiting the rumored Fable 4. Xbox head Phil Spencer promised in 2017 that the franchise certainly wasn't dead, but there's been no official news since then. Some rumors have popped up, such as a Reddit post citing some various game mechanics and expected features, and further reports have claimed that Forza developer Playground Games may be working on Fable 4. But another E3 came and went this year without an announcement, leading many to believe that we may see Fable Reborn on Microsoft's next-gen console in 2020 or beyond. A new Bungie game. Bungie is a developer that needs no introduction, and now that they've recently gained back full creative control by severing ties with Activision, it looks like they may be trying something new. They filed a trademark for Matter back in September of 2018 under the categories Computer Game Software and Online Entertainment Services. Unfortunately, there's been no further information to leak out since the trademark was filed. Bungie has promised continued dedication to their Destiny franchise, so Matter may be a project we don't hear about for a while, but we're confident whatever it is will be worth the wait. EIDOS Montreal's Guardians of the Galaxy game. Square Enix-owned EIDOS Montreal is apparently planning to take a break from their popular Deus Ex franchise in favor of something new. Rumors were circulating as far back as 2017 that have seemed to indicate that they're hard at work on a Guardians of the Galaxy game as part of a collaboration between Square Enix and Marvel, aiming for a release sometime after the upcoming Avengers game in 2019. There's been no confirmation from EIDOS Montreal or Square Enix yet, but the deal with Marvel is known to be long-term, so it's not out of the question that we'll see Groot and friends eventually. WB Montreal's new game. WB Montreal is best known for their work on Arkham Origins, a Batman game taking place in ROCKSTEADY'S Arkham universe. In 2018, senior game designer Osama Dorius confirmed that they're working on 2 DC games, but the studio hasn't released any further information since. E3 came and went without any sign of WB Montreal, so unfortunately it could still be some time before we hear anything more. Grand Theft Auto 6. With Red Dead Redemption 2 releasing last year and Rockstar's penchant for long development times, it may be a while before we hear much about Grand Theft Auto 6. But it goes without saying that the success of the franchise guarantees a new entry. Sadly, not much information is available about a future entry beyond a Glassdoor post from an ex-employee that contains the cryptic message, GTA 6 LSVCLC. This has led many to believe that the game may take place across Liberty City, Los Santos, and Vice City. We won't know until the game is officially announced, but visiting so many iconic locations in a single Grand Theft Auto game sounds pretty exciting. Retro Studios' secret project. In January of 2019, development of Metroid Prime 4 moved to Retro Studios, but scattered rumors have also indicated that the beloved developer could be working on a Star Fox racing game that would include a story mode and boss battles. There's been no formal announcements about any upcoming projects from Retro Studios, so we may have to wait a while as they wrap up development of Metroid Prime 4 before getting more information on any further projects. New Ratchet & Clank game. The Ratchet & Clank PS4 reboot was a huge success and brought the lovable characters to a new generation of gamers. Former IGN editor and Kinda Funny podcast co-founder Colin Moriarty recently claimed, quote, "You haven't seen the last of Ratchet & Clank on PS4. While Moriarty is not a developer, his love for all things PlayStation and his connections with Sony and other development studios means he's potentially privy to various games in development. It may just be a rumor, but the endless enjoyment of the first game and Moriarty's promise leaves us hoping it's true." BLUEPOINT'S next game. Known best for remaking classic PlayStation 2 game Shadow of the Colossus for the PS4, BluePoint Games has been quiet ever since. However, technical director Peter Dalton has gone on record as saying, quote, "And moving forward to our next project, we call it a re-envisioning, given that it goes well beyond what we thought was possible on Shadow of the Colossus." This has led many to believe that the upcoming game could potentially be a full remake of the PS3 exclusive Demon's Souls. This has not been confirmed yet, but whatever they're working on, it's easy to assume that it will be beautifully realized. And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily. Also, don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon, that way you don't miss out on any of our videos.